إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أدى الأمانة وبلغ الرسالة ونصح الأمة وجاهد في سبيل الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين. وبعد، فيقول الله عز وجل في التنزيل الحكيم من بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم إن زلزلة الساعة شيء عظيم يوم ترونها تذهل كل مرضعة عما أرضعت وتضع كل ذات حمل حملها وترى الناس سكارى وما هم بسكارى ولكن عذاب الله شديد. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. الحمد لله على نعمه ما ظهر منها وما بطن. اللهم لك الحمد. الحمد والشكر لله. أنعم علينا بيوم الجمعة، أنعم علينا بالإسلام، أنعم علينا برسول عليه الصلاة والسلام أشرف الأنبياء والرسل، ولا يأتي من بعده رسول أبدا، محمد بن عبد الله. اللهم صل على المصطفى، اللهم صل عليه وسلم تسليما. This morning, early this morning, after Salat al-Fajr, I opened my phone and I read a message. I'm going to read it to you. It's from a student that I had lost in touch for a long time. Today is about the youth. And Malak, she was 10 years old in the school of Iman Academy. And I lost her in the sense that there was no contact. And she sent me this. She said, Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Kibati. My name is Malak, and I was a student at Iman Academy while you were principal of the school. My mother is Nida. I wanted to say thank you for the valuable lessons you taught me as a child, the values of the khutbahs and short talks you gave when I was 10 years old ring in my head up to this day. جزاك الله خير and Allah يعطيك ألف ألف عافية. السلام عليكم. I'm going to translate it for our sisters and brothers. السلام عليكم دكتور خالد قباطي. اسمي ملك. كنت طالبة عندك في إيمان أكاديمي، المدرسة اللي كنا فيها في هيوستن، وأنت كنت مدير المدرسة وأمي النداء. وددت أن أشكر لك على الدروس اللي أخذناها منك في الخطب وفي الخواطر الصباح. فلا زالت الدروس هذه ترن في أذني وفي ذهني. فسبحان الله سجدت لله. I made the sajda to be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now she's probably 20 years old. And I asked myself, I said, the impact that we have on children, we tell them something. We don't know how it is going to impact their lives. And I remember how the Prophet ﷺ would instill in the children ideas that they took and they made them a reality. Alayhi salatu wassalam. Take Muhammad al-Fatih, Sultan Muhammad. He was a child and he heard one small hadith related about the Prophet ﷺ. And the only thing that stayed in his ears and mind, نِعْمَ الْأَمِيرُ أَمِيرُهَا وَنِعْمَ الْجَيْشُ جَيْشُهَا. Great is the leader of this army and great is this army. And he took that, and throughout his life it was how to conquer Byzantium, which was Al-Qastantiniya, Istanbul. think about the impact that we can have on our children. And think at the opposite that can happen in children when we bring them down. Ya kada, ya kada, ya kada, when they are young. They make a mistake, we hit them with words. خلق الإنسان علمه البيان. Allah says subhanahu wa ta'ala, immediately after al-khalq, after the creation, there is what? Al-bayan, al-bayan, the speech. It's not by chance, it's almost at the same level of the creation. That means in the speech there is so much power. We can inspire people, especially the youth. If our children keep seeing us crying about the miseries that are happening to us, and seeing us telling them, you see, there's nothing we can do, we are broken, we are this, we are that, what do you think they will be? They will be saying the same thing. We are broken, there is nothing we can do. As they grow. And the cycle continues. It's a cycle. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. In fact, when we look at the Muslim world now, it's as if the ability to think, the thinking process has stopped. Jamad. Yes. Are we still producing scholars like Ibn al-Haytham, Abbas ibn Farnas, Al-Razi? Are we producing scholars of that caliber whose science is still now being used? I question that. Who inspired them? Who? Who inspired Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah? His grandmother, Taymiyyah, took him as a child and she built in him this desire to be someone. If we give our children just video games, eventually they will start thinking of making a video game. I promise you that. If we give them just movies, they will start just thinking about making movies. Bring children, challenge them with mathematical problems to solve them, and if you make it entertaining, they will become mathematicians. I promise you that. Tell them, let's go out and study the earth and science and make it challenging for them, and they will become scientists. Teach them history. Not only they will become historians, but they will become thinkers. Yes. And history abounds with that. How many of our children know the great leaders that were before? How many of them? Have we ever inspired our children about the famous Khalid ibn al-Walid? A great, great commander. A commander who died in his bed, almost crying, saying that there is not a single part of my body that doesn't have a scar from an arrow or a sword or a spear. And I'm dying like this. Sayfullah al-Maslul. Great commander whose strategies in war are still being studied. And guerrilla warfare, they study it in big military academies. And they bring names like this. Are we inspiring our children with the chivalry of Salahuddin al-Ayyubi, who sent his own doctors to Richard the Lionheart? Do our children know that? That the Christians were learning through their wars, the crusades, they were learning how to become a true knight. Chivalry, Forosia. Integrity in war. You don't mutilate the body. You don't burn the man. You don't kill the women and the children. Yes? But those who are doing what they are doing, they are not good students. They're bad students. They didn't learn. They didn't learn. At least some in the time of the Crusaders were learning and they applied it. They applied what the Muslims were teaching. A Christian prisoner was brought in front of Salahuddin Ayyubi, and the fear in his face was tremendous. And then they asked him, why are you so afraid of Salahuddin Ayyubi? He said, I was afraid, but now that I see his face, I think there can only be good coming from him. It tells us about our leaders of then, that we should put this in the minds of our children to inspire them. And what did Salahuddin Ayyubi do? He said, go, you're free. Since you think so highly of me, look how he elevates even a prisoner. Allahu Akbar. And then we see that in history they didn't learn. When the famous general who came, the French general came after the conquest of Damascus, and he hits the grave of Salahuddin, telling him, stand up, we are back. We took it. What a shame. And in the history books, they don't mention that an old Muslim man told him, yes, Salahuddin is still here. And he took his life. But you will not find this in every history book. The calamities that are falling on us in Syria and Iraq, and name it, Palestine, it's to awaken us. It's to awaken our children. It's to awaken the world. When I say our children, not necessarily the Muslim children, but the children of the world, it's enough. Because if you take what the calamities are to any child in the cities of the United States, of the cities of the world, they're going to say, why are they killing children? This kid is like me. Why did they kill his mother? His mother is like my mother. So we have to bring the true integrity, the true courage, the true loyalty, the true dignity of the human being. And that can only be done through our children. That's the only legacy that we can leave at this time. Are we doing enough of that? We have to question ourselves. Because the calamities are terrible. And we have to be patient. We have to be very patient. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اصْبِرُوا وَصَابِرُوا وَرَابِطُوا وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. But with patience comes what? Also work, hard work. We don't fall and say, there is nothing I can do. Our children will be demolished before they even get to the age of adulthood. Or you have believed, persevere and endure and remain stationed or steadfast and fear Allah that you may be successful. Another verse, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا لَمَّا صَبَرُوا وَكَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا يُوقِنُونَ. It tells us what? That with patience, we have to have what? We have to have conviction that the words of Allah are the truth. That what the Prophet ﷺ has brought to us is the truth. And we have to instill this in our kids. Instill this in our children. Allah says, and we made from among them leaders guiding by our command when they are patient. And when they were certain of our signs, they were convinced. You will find it. And subhanAllah, it came in another hadith that the beginning of it is a fitna and the end of it is kufr. Wal-iyadu billah. For the Muslims, from the fitan that we have. And I tell myself, if there is kufr at the end, that means there was no understanding of the faith. And there was no patience. There was no patience. We have to be patient. We have to work hard on ourselves. عن أبي عبد الله خباب ابن الأرث رضي الله عنه قال شكونا إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو متوسد بردة له في ظل الكعبة فقلنا ألا تستنصر لنا ألا تدعو لنا فقال he said قال قد كان من قبلكم يؤخذ الرجل فيحفر له في الأرض يجعل فيها ثم يؤتى بالمنشار فيوضع على رأسه فيجعل نصفين ويمشط بأمشاط الحديد ما دون لحمه وعظمه ما يصده ذلك عن دينه والله لا يتمن الله هذا الأمر حتى يسير الراكب من صنعاء إلى حضرموت لا يخاف إلا الله والذئب على غنمه ولكنكم تستعجلون. Children, learn this. The Prophet ﷺ said, and this came from a hadith from Abi Abdullah Khabbab ibn al-Arath. He said, we complained to the Prophet ﷺ, telling him, why don't you ask Allah to give us victory? Why don't you ask Allah to give us victory? So he said, ﷺ, there were before you nations or people before you, that they would be taken by their enemies, and a hole will be dug for them, and they would use a saw to split them from the head in half. And this will not take them away from their religion, their faith. They were patient in those tribulations. Children, learn to be patient, but with patience comes also work. We work on ourselves first to change ourselves, to learn our religion, to be better individual, and to instill in our children a sense of what it means to be a mu'min, to be a believing man. And we don't do what others do. Sunnatuna sunnat Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. في الحرب وفي السلم. Whether it is in war or it is in peace, time of peace, we follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. So we as Muslims here, we say we are innocent of the calamities that are happening in the world. And Islam is innocent of that. And our children have to learn this. Bring back the true Islam. The real Islam, the only Islam. There are not too many, just one. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. It's very hard to bring any other topic than what hurts the heart these days. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring His mercy on all of us and those who suffer in the world, Muslims and non-Muslims. Because it seems like this affliction is hurting everybody. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the lutf wal afiyah. Again, I will not reiterate enough. When Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, in the death of Khalid ibn al-Walid, he said, عَجَزَتِ النِّسَاء أَن تَلِدَ مِثْلَ خَالِد. He meant something very big, but he meant also to challenge you as a father and to challenge you as a mother. He said the following: women have given all hope to be able to bear a child like Khalid ibn al-Walid. It is our responsibility, we the Muslims, to take this challenge and to call on Umar radiallahu anhu and to tell him we are here and we are working very hard. We are educating our children and the children of the world about Islam, the faith that brought peace to the world. Maimonides, the famous rabbi that is written in history books all the time, graduated from the University of Al-Qarawin in Fas, Morocco. And he was working with Salah ad-Din Ayyubi as one of his basically advisors, a Jewish. So anyone who has a question about Islam, bringing all the faith under its umbrella and saying it's impossible, we tell them it already happened and it will happen inshallah. Maybe not through us, but through our children and grandchildren. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا